There's a bridge in Texas where people don't just hear footsteps, they hear something calling them. A place where locals refuse to go after dark because they believe once you cross it at night, something follows you back. So before we begin, make sure you're subscribed to Dark History After Midnight because some stories don't end when the video does. Story 1. The Devil's Bridge, Old Alton Bridge. Deep in Denton County, Texas, hidden between thick trees and silence, stands an old wooden bridge, known as the Old Alton Bridge, but locals don't call it that anymore. They call it the Devil's Bridge. Years ago, this area was nothing but farmland and darkness, and there was a man who lived alone near the bridge, a man people didn't trust, not because of what he did, but because of what people believed he was. They said he made deals, not with people, but with something else, something not human. The man was accused of dark rituals, summoning, worshiping something unseen, and one night, the town decided they had enough. They dragged him to the bridge. No trial, no mercy, just anger. They placed a rope around his neck and threw him over the side. But when they looked down, his body was gone. No rope, no corpse, nothing, just darkness and silence. From that night on, things began to change. Most people who hear this story think it's just a myth, but what happened that night was recorded, and what he saw still doesn't make sense. The investigation night. The man brought a camera, flashlight, nothing else. He wanted proof, something real, something he could show the world. At first, everything was normal, quiet, empty. Then, he heard it. Footsteps. Behind him. Slow. Deliberate. He turned around. Nothing. But the sound didn't stop. It got closer. Closer. Then the camera caught something. A shape. Standing at the edge of the bridge. Tall. Dark. Not moving. Just watching him. He tried to focus the camera, but the image distorted. Static. Glitches. Like something was interfering. Then he heard it, right next to his ear. A whisper. Leave. But he didn't move. He froze because something touched his shoulder. Cold, heavy, real. Escape. He ran, didn't stop, didn't look back until he reached his car. Safe, or at least he thought he was. Later, when he reviewed the footage, he saw something. Behind him, the entire time, a figure walking slowly, following him, step by step. To this day, people still visit the bridge. Some out of curiosity, some out of disbelief, but many leave with the same feeling that they weren't alone. And if you ever find yourself standing on that bridge late at night and you hear footsteps behind you, don't turn around, because this time, it might be real. If you enjoyed this story and want to explore more real dark histories like this, consider subscribing to Dark History After Midnight, because here, we don't just tell stories, we bring you closer to the unknown. There's an asylum in West Virginia where the patients were never meant to leave, not because they were cured, but because something inside changed them. Locals say if you walk its halls at night, you won't just hear voices, you'll hear them calling your name. So before we go any further, make sure you're subscribed to Dark History After Midnight, because some places don't let you forget them. Story 2. The Abandoned Asylum. Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. Hidden deep in Weston, West Virginia, stands a massive stone building, cold, silent, forgotten by time. This is the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, a place that once held thousands of patients, far more than it was ever built for. Originally designed for a few hundred, it became overcrowded. Rooms meant for one person held 5, sometimes more. Patients weren't treated, they were controlled, locked away, experimented on. Doctors used methods that today would be considered torture: ice baths, electroshock, isolation in total darkness. People didn't leave healed, they left broken, or not at all. Even before it closed, staff reported strange things: patients talking to empty corners, laughing at nothing, screaming in the middle of the night for something they claimed was standing in their rooms. At first, it was dismissed as madness, but then the staff started experiencing it too: footsteps in empty halls, doors opening slowly on their own, and whispers coming from locked rooms. There was one section the staff avoided completely. They called it the Dark Wing. Patients placed there were said to be the most disturbed, but some believed they weren't disturbed before they entered. Something changed them, something inside that wing. Years later, a group of investigators decided to explore that exact wing at night, and what they found made them leave before sunrise. Most abandoned buildings are empty, but this one still feels occupied. And that night, they proved it. The team entered just after midnight, flashlights on, cameras rolling. The air felt heavy, hard to breathe, like the building itself was alive. They moved toward the dark wing, step by step. The deeper they went, the colder it became. Then they heard it, a voice, soft, whispering, from behind a locked door. They opened it slowly. Inside, nothing. Empty room, broken bed, dust. Then the temperature dropped instantly, and one of them whispered, "Did you feel that?" At the end of the hallway, something appeared, a figure, standing still, tall, unnatural, watching them. They tried to move closer, but the lights flickered, and the figure was suddenly gone. Then it happened, a loud scream echoing through the building, not human, not normal. One of the investigators dropped his camera because he felt something grab his arm, hard, cold. They ran, didn't stop, didn't look back, until they reached the outside. Later, when reviewing the footage, they saw something in the background. Every single clip, a figure standing behind them, watching, silent. To this day, people who visit the asylum report the same thing: voices, shadows, and that feeling that someone is standing right behind them. If you want to hear more real stories like this, subscribe to Dark History After Midnight, because some places are never truly abandoned.